Hi everyone. Hopefully you've had a chance to look at this slide and then the starter on the next slide. So in this lesson, we're going to look at two types of cells, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And we've been talking about cells, but the cells we've been talking about have been eukaryotes. And so we're going to add another type of cell in this lesson. So you've got your learning targets here. I can identify the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So when we're thinking about these two types of cells, we're really thinking about how are they similar and how are they different. So the presence of membrane-bound organelles, difference in chromosome. Remember when you see the word chromosome, think about DNA, so the difference in their DNA structure or their chromosome structure, their relative size, and then complexity. And so the last thing goes with that, it really goes with that first learning target. I can explain the similarities common to all cells. So if it's common to prokaryotes and eukaryotes, it's common to all cells. So you'll need the digital notebook pages for today's lesson right off the bat. So make sure you get those in Canvas and you've got them open somewhere or added to your digital notebook. So you should have started by looking at this slide, and it said put things you notice and things you wonder on the next page. A lot of times students are like, wait, the cheek cell, is that just the little one right there? Where's the cheek cell? No, most of this picture, well, really probably a third of this picture to a half of this picture is a cheek cell. Here's the nucleus, right? And you see the plasma membrane on the outside. So a cell that is from someone's cheek, a human being. So that would be a eukaryotic cell that's from a human being. And in this case, our nucleus is right there again. And then the bacteria. So the bacteria are just right there. And look, there are so many more bacteria surrounding this cheek cell. So a lot of bacteria on this picture and only one cheek cell. So the first thing that should jump out at you is bacteria. I don't know if those are prokaryotes or eukaryotes, and that's fine, but bacteria are much smaller than human cells. Bacteria are much smaller than human cells, and that's true of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So the human cell here is the eukaryote, and that little cell there, that bacteria, is a prokaryotic cell. So as we're moving on, thinking about similarities and differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is, like I said, you'll need your digital notebook right off the bat. So here are your digital notebook pages. You can go ahead and add them to your notebook if you want to. You can type on them here and then add them to your notebook later. Remember, go to your notebook, go to the last slide, and then File, Import Slides. And that way you can pull up these notes and put them into your notebook so that you've got them there. So I've got your I can statements here again.
So on the second slide, you have a chart here, and you are going to use the resource from Nearpod, and I'll show you that in just a moment, to fill in this chart comparing prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So you can highlight and start typing in the box. Your statement or your question is over here. So DNA surrounded by a nucleus or free-floating circular DNA, which one would you find that in? So you're putting one of those in one box and one of those in the other, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Does it have a plasma membrane? Yes or no? Type that in the box using the resource. So in Nearpod, in the next slide, it will say click to open a web page. When you click that, it will open into this digital text. I encourage you to read through, look at the pictures. There's even a video. I encourage you to watch the video and fill out the chart in your digital notebook. So when we come back together, we will put this, the next couple of slides. So you have a good model of a prokaryote inside of your notebook. Okay, so go ahead and do that using the resource from Nearpod and then come back together. The next slide, this slide, we will do that together. So you don't have to go on and do that.